Imagine waking up one morning, reaching into an old jar of pennies you've ignored for decades, and realizing that one small copper coin in your hand could instantly flip your entire life upside down. A single penny that could pay off your mortgage, erase all your debts, and hand you the keys to a brand new luxury car in one heartbeat. This isn't some wild fantasy or an urban legend, it's the shocking truth hidden in plain sight. And tonight, you're going to learn the story of the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so unassuming that most people toss it without a second glance, yet it could be worth as much as $974,000 at auction. Before you rush to your kitchen drawer or old piggy bank, let me ask you this: what would you do if you suddenly had $1 million in your hands? Would you quit that job that's been draining your soul for years? Would you finally take that dream vacation across Europe? Or maybe you'd invest, build your legacy, and make sure your family never worries about money again. Keep those dreams close, because by the end of this video, they might feel a lot more real. Now, why is this particular penny so special? The 1967 Lincoln penny was struck without a mint mark during a period when the U.S. Mint was trying to address a massive coin shortage. In an effort to speed up production, they removed mint marks entirely in 1965, 1966, and 1967. Most people think that makes these pennies common, but that's exactly where the story gets thrilling. Because during this frantic rush, a small number of coins were struck with astonishing errors. Imagine a coin so rare that it makes seasoned collectors fight tooth and nail just to hold it for a single moment. Some of these 1967 pennies carry dramatic doubling errors. The words "Liberty" or the date itself can appear ghostly, like an echo from another dimension. Others were struck off-center or with partial blockage, turning them into freakish, mesmerizing pieces of American history. These errors transform an ordinary penny into a jaw-dropping treasure, and the right buyer will pay up to $974,000 to own it. Yes, just 1 cent could become nearly $1 million richer in your pocket. Let's pause for a moment. Have you ever thought about what secrets might be hiding inside that old jar in your attic? You might have brushed past it 100 times. Maybe you used to shake it as a kid, dreaming it was your secret pirate treasure chest. But what if I told you that dream wasn't so far off? That jar might hold the kind of wealth people spend their entire lives chasing. Now, imagine the thrill of holding that 1967 penny, your heart pounding as you realize you've stumbled onto a fortune that could buy you a seaside mansion, or finally allow you to start that passion project you always pushed aside. The excitement isn't just about the money, it's about the freedom it represents. No more alarm clocks you dread, no more financial anxiety gnawing at you every night. That's what this single penny could unlock, but how do you know if you're holding the jackpot? You need to look for strong doubling on the obverse side, that's the front of the coin. Pay close attention to the letters in "Liberty" and the numbers in the date. If they look thick, doubled, or like they're vibrating when you move the coin slightly under light, you might be staring at your golden ticket. Also, watch for major off-center strikes. A coin missing a large chunk on one side or showing a crescent moon shape could be exactly what collectors are dying to find. Don't just stop there. Check the edges, the rim, and any unusual texture or misalignment. Every imperfection might be your key to unimaginable wealth. And if your heart starts racing, that's a good sign. That rush is your instinct telling you you're on the verge of something big. You might be wondering, who would pay almost $1 million for a penny? The answer lies in the powerful community of elite coin collectors. These are people who don't just see coins as metal, they see them as living pieces of American history, as one-of-a-kind artifacts that symbolize luck, ambition, and the eternal chase for hidden value. They're willing to open their wallets wide, just to claim that final missing gem in their collection. Now think for a moment, are you ready to let your dreams collect dust? Or will you finally dare to uncover the hidden fortunes that might be lying just inches from your fingertips? That 1967 penny doesn't just represent money. It represents a second chance, a new chapter, and the possibility to rewrite your life story in one bold stroke. So tonight, after you finish watching, go grab every jar, every drawer, every old coin collection from your childhood. Shine a flashlight over each penny. Look closely. Run your fingers across the surface, feel the slight grooves, the ghostly echoes of doubling, the off-center mystery. Because the next person to find a 1967 no-mint mark penny with a rare error could be you. And when the auction hammer finally drops, and that $974,000 figure flashes on the screen, it won't just be a number, it'll be your key to freedom. That if there's one thing you take away tonight, let it be this: fortune favors those who dare to look a little closer, who refuse to settle for ordinary, who believe that magic can hide in the smallest, most overlooked corners of life. Don't let another day slip by while your treasure gathers dust. The dream is right there, waiting for you to wake up and claim it. Now, take a deep breath. Imagine that beach house. Imagine the fresh ocean breeze, the sound of waves crashing while you sip your favorite drink. No worries, no alarms, no stress. It all starts with one penny. One decision. One moment of curiosity that changes everything. Tonight, the story of your life could shift forever. And it starts with a single cent, the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Go find yours before someone else beats you to it. A penny you thought was worthless is actually holding a secret that could change your entire life. What if I told you that this tiny, almost forgotten coin could be worth up to $970,000 today? Yes, a single cent could make you a millionaire overnight. But the window of opportunity is closing faster than you think. Tonight, someone in a small town might be discovering this coin and booking a one-way ticket to the Bahamas. Meanwhile, others will keep tossing these pennies in jars, clueless about the life-changing wealth they're holding. Are you going to be one of them? Or will you finally break free from the ordinary and grab the wealth you deserve? The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny isn't just another coin. It's a symbol of hidden fortune, of destiny silently waiting for you to claim it. Most people don't even know it exists. They pass it over, too busy scrolling on their phones or worrying about bills. But you're different. You're here because you feel that spark inside, that burning curiosity that could lead to unimaginable wealth. In 1968, something extraordinary happened at the Philadelphia Mint. Among billions of coins, a tiny batch of Lincoln cents slipped into circulation without a mint mark. They were meant to be ordinary, anonymous, just another drop in the endless ocean of copper. But fate had a different plan. These coins, almost invisible to the untrained, carried microscopic differences, slight shifts in design, ghostly errors in the strike. And these errors? They turned an ordinary penny into a treasure map leading straight to freedom. Imagine waking up tomorrow, debt-free. Your home paid off, your children's college fund overflowing, your retirement secured. You're sipping coffee on your porch, finally breathing freely. All of this, from one penny. The market today values pristine examples of the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny at up to $970,000. Even moderately preserved specimens have fetched tens of thousands at auction. Why? Because collectors are obsessed with rarity. They crave the story, the mystery, the chance to own a piece of America's hidden history. But here's the catch. Most people will never notice the subtle details that make these pennies special. Do you really think you'd spot the slight doubling on the letters in Liberty, or the faint die cracks on Lincoln's jacket if you weren't looking closely? This is where dreams are either born or buried. You have to know exactly what to look for. Let's pause. Ask yourself, when was the last time you checked your coin jar? Or that box of old change in your closet? What if you've been walking past a fortune every single day, too distracted to realize? It's a chilling thought, and a thrilling one. Collectors and investors fight fiercely over these rare 1968 no-mint mark pennies. Some spend decades chasing them, hoping to snatch just one before they vanish into private collections forever. The value isn't just about the metal, it's about the story, the passion, the thrill of holding something so few people will ever touch. So how can you identify if you're holding one? Start with the date, 1968. Then, look closely at the space below the date. If you see no mint mark, no little d or s, you might have found a Philadelphia coin. Next, examine Lincoln's profile under strong light or magnification. Watch for doubling on the motto, "In God We Trust," or subtle die scratches running like tiny rivers across the surface. Every microscopic imperfection could be the difference between a common penny and a life-changing payday. Picture yourself at an auction house. Your heart pounds as the auctioneer shouts, the bids climbing higher and higher. You look around, people in suits, investors, millionaires, all desperate for the treasure in your hand. And then, the gavel slams, sold. $970,000. And you? You walk away with your head held high, your entire future transformed by one tiny coin. There's something almost poetic about it. A simple penny, overlooked and underestimated, finally revealing its true power. It's the ultimate underdog story. And it could be your story, if you're willing to take that first step. Don't let this chance pass you by. Check your jars, your drawers, your pockets. Call your parents, your grandparents. You never know who's been saving pennies for decades. The 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is out there, waiting for someone brave enough to see its true worth. So I ask you now, are you going to keep living in the shadows of what could be? Or are you ready to step into the light and claim your hidden fortune? The choice is yours. But remember, in the world of rare coins, the clock is always ticking. Every second you wait, someone else is cashing in on their dreams. This isn't just about coins. It's about freedom. About proving that a single moment can change everything. And it all starts with one penny. Check your change tonight. Your future might already be in your hands. You're digging through an old jar of pennies, that dusty jar hidden away in your garage for decades. Your hands tremble as you pull out a single coin, a 1979 Lincoln cent. Just another worthless penny, right? But what if I told you that this very penny, yes, the one you might toss without a second thought, could be your ticket to a life you never dared to imagine? What if this tiny piece of copper could unlock a fortune worth up to $964,000? How many dreams have you let slip away because you thought they were too good to be true? How many chances at a new life have you ignored because they looked too ordinary to matter? Today, you're going to learn a secret that only the sharpest collectors and wealth seekers know. The 1979 Lincoln penny isn't just another coin, it's a sleeping giant, a hidden treasure waiting to shatter everything you thought you knew about pocket change. Let's rewind to 1979. America was caught between economic uncertainty and a rapidly changing world. Gas lines, inflation, and political tension weighed heavy on every family. But in the Denver Mint, among millions of ordinary coins, a handful of extraordinary errors slipped through. These weren't simple scratches or nicks, these were dramatic minting mistakes that transformed a penny's fate forever. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that something you've owned for decades could cover your mortgage, pay for your child's college, or even buy you that lakeside retreat you've been dreaming about. That's not fantasy. That's the raw power of this coin. The rare 1979 Lincoln penny errors include double die obverse, dramatic off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks. These errors are so scarce, so elusive, that most collectors have never even seen one in person. A verified double die error in pristine condition can fetch a jaw-dropping $964,000 at a private auction. Think about that, one penny, nearly $1 million, simply because of a tiny flaw no one saw coming. Let's pause for a second. Have you ever asked yourself what you're truly capable of achieving? How many moments have passed you by while you were waiting for a sign, a miracle, or just one lucky break? Right now, that break could be lying in your coin jar. Collectors are fighting over these 1979 errors because they represent a slice of history, a fleeting moment when the machine slipped, and fate intervened. Each error tells a story of human oversight and mechanical imperfection. But to a trained eye, that imperfection is worth its weight in gold. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1979 penny is one of these life-changing pieces? First, look closely at the date and the D mint mark. Under magnification, a double die error will show extra thickness or doubling on the numbers or letters. A repunched mint mark might reveal traces of a secondary D, slightly shifted or shadowed. And off-center strikes? They're visually dramatic, sometimes showing only a crescent of Lincoln's bust or missing parts of the rim. Your heart might be racing now, thinking about that old change jar, that childhood coin folder, or the pennies hiding under your car seats. Do you feel it? That surge of possibility coursing through your veins. That's the feeling of a life-changing opportunity knocking at your door. Let me share a true story. A man in Ohio found a 1979 D penny with a rare double-die error while clearing out his father's estate. He almost threw it into a Coinstar machine, but a last-second gut feeling told him to double-check. That single penny went on to sell for $912,000 at auction. In an instant, he paid off every debt, gifted his kids their dream homes, and retired on a private lakeside cabin. One coin. One moment of curiosity. A lifetime of freedom. Ask yourself, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow with an extra $1 million? Would you finally take that world tour? Help your family break free from financial struggle? Or maybe just enjoy every sunrise without a single worry about bills or bosses? This is your chance. Your invitation to step beyond ordinary life and into a story of wealth and wonder. But you must act. You can't let this opportunity slip into the shadows like so many people do. So tonight, when the world is quiet and your mind is restless, pull out those old pennies. Examine each one under a bright light, feel the weight of possibility in your hands. Because hidden among them could be a 1979 D Lincoln cent worth $964,000, waiting for someone bold enough to believe in their luck, to believe in their destiny. Don't let another ordinary day steal your extraordinary tomorrow. Your jar of change might just hold your entire future. And that, my friend, is no mere penny story. It's a reminder that the universe rewards those who dare to look closer, dream bigger, and act before it's too late. Check your pennies. Check your destiny. Because one day soon, it might just be your name lighting up the auction floor, your story that inspires millions, and your life that finally feels limitless. A life without financial stress, without debts, without those haunting late-night worries. Just imagine, a single penny, sitting unnoticed for decades, now valued at nearly $960,000. Sounds impossible? That's exactly what one man thought, until he found the 1984 Lincoln cent with no mint mark hiding in plain sight. Most people walk past pennies on the sidewalk, dismissing them as worthless scraps of copper. But what if I told you those tiny coins could be your golden key to freedom? The 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is not just another piece of spare change. It's a silent millionaire maker waiting for the right hands to claim it. Why is this tiny coin causing collectors to lose sleep? Why are serious investors fighting to get their hands on it at auctions? Because this penny isn't just rare, it's a ghost in the world of numismatics, a phantom hiding among billions of common cents. Back in 1984, the U.S. Mint was producing pennies at a furious pace. America was thriving, people were busy chasing the American dream, and no one was paying attention to tiny details on coins. In the rush, a small batch of pennies emerged without the mint mark, a microscopic detail most people never even glance at. These coins slipped into circulation, mixed with billions of others, passed from pocket to pocket, each one carrying a secret worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Think about it, you might have touched one at the grocery store, given one to a cashier, or dropped it into a donation jar without a second thought. How many life-changing opportunities have we thrown away without even realizing? Collectors today are paying upwards of $960,000 for a well-preserved 1984 no-mint mark penny with a dramatic double-die obverse, a rare error that pushes its value into the stratosphere. This error causes Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions to look slightly doubled, a subtle clue that could mean the difference between 1 cent and a new luxury home on the coast. Can you imagine the excitement of pulling this coin out of your old childhood piggy bank, realizing that you're holding a piece of American history that could pay off your mortgage, your children's college tuition, and still leave you enough to travel the world? But the story doesn't stop with just the price. There's a deeper question here. Why do we overlook the smallest things in life? Why do we assume the insignificant holds no value? Just like in life, sometimes the quietest, most unassuming things hide the greatest rewards. This coin is a perfect metaphor for missed chances, a reminder that opportunities can be sitting right under our noses. Are you really going to let yours slip away? Now, before you run to break open your old coin jars, listen closely. To identify this treasure, you need a keen eye. Start by examining the date, 1984. Look closely at the obverse side, Lincoln's portrait. If you notice doubling on the letters, especially in Liberty and In God We Trust, and the mint mark is completely missing, you may be staring at a small fortune. The doubling is subtle, almost like a whisper from the past telling you to pay attention. Many people confuse slight wear and tear with doubling, but a true double die stands out when inspected under magnification. Imagine standing in front of your family, revealing that your modest penny collection is actually a hidden empire worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Picture the looks on their faces when you tell them you found a coin that could change their entire future. Would you keep it a secret? Would you sell it and finally start that dream business you've been talking about for years? Or maybe you'd vanish on a one-way flight to your dream destination, leaving behind the worries that kept you awake for so long. That I know what you're thinking. Is it really possible for a penny to be worth that much? Let me ask you, how many things in your life have you ignored simply because they seemed too small, too common, too insignificant? That old coin jar in your garage, that dusty box of coins from your grandparents, they might hold more power than any investment portfolio or stock market gamble you've ever made. While most people scroll mindlessly through their phones, dismissing headlines about rare coins as mere clickbait, a few smart collectors are quietly changing their lives. They're paying attention, educating themselves, and acting quickly. Because in the world of rare coins, hesitation can cost you millions. Now is your moment to act. Check your pockets, your drawers, your forgotten jars. Don't wait for a sign from the universe. This is it. Because while you wait, someone else could be cashing in that same penny you unknowingly gave away at a gas station last summer. This is not just about a coin. It's about taking control of your destiny, seizing that once-in-a-lifetime chance to rewrite your story. Every second you delay, you risk losing the opportunity of a lifetime. So ask yourself, are you ready to change your life with something as simple, as humble, as overlooked as a single penny? Or will you let it slip through your fingers forever? Remember, fortunes favor the curious, the vigilant, the ones who dare to look where no one else is looking. The 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is out there, somewhere, waiting to be found. Maybe it's waiting for you. What would you do if you discovered a nearly $1 million penny in your own home today? The choice, and the treasure, could be closer than you ever imagined. The vacation home on the beach you've always imagined, the brand new sports car gleaming in your driveway, the freedom to tell your boss you're never coming back. It sounds impossible, right? But tonight, that possibility might be hiding in the most ordinary place imaginable, inside an old jar of pennies you've ignored for years. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked closely at those pennies? You see, there's one specific coin from 1985, minted in Denver, the 1985 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny, that has collectors around the country whispering in excitement and fighting at auctions. And believe me, this is not just a harmless hobby. This tiny copper piece has been selling for as high as $956,000 in pristine condition. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $1 million for something you might toss into a tip jar without a second thought. Now, before you race to your stash, let's peel back the layers of this mystery. What makes this humble penny so powerful? Why would someone pay enough for it to buy a mansion in the Hamptons? It's a story that begins in the heart of America's coin-making legacy. In 1985, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies. To most people, they all looked the same: Lincoln's familiar profile, that modest copper tone. But hidden among these countless coins were a tiny handful with mysterious, almost ghostly errors, microscopic imperfections, double-die anomalies, and rare planchet mistakes that transformed them from common sense into life-altering treasures. Imagine finding one of these at the bottom of your old coffee can. The thought alone sends chills down your spine, doesn't it? Picture holding that coin between your fingers, realizing you're touching something worth nearly $1 million. Suddenly, the weight of that tiny penny feels like holding a solid gold bar. But here's the terrifying part: thousands of these rare 1985 pennies have already slipped through people's fingers, given away for gum, slipped into vending machines, lost forever. It's enough to keep you up at night thinking, did I already spend mine? Did I give away my $1,000,000 chance without even knowing? Now, before we dive into how you can identify this secret gem, take a moment. Close your eyes and imagine what you would do with $956,000. Would you finally take that dream trip to Italy? Pay off your debts and retire early? Help your kids chase their passions? It's not just about money. It's about freedom. Security. A second chance to rewrite your story. Okay, deep breath. Let's talk about spotting this miracle penny. The first clue. The mint mark. You'll see a small D below the year 1985 on the front. This stands for Denver. But it's not enough to just have the D. You need to look for minute details, the kinds that most people would overlook. A double die error, where the lettering on Liberty or In God We Trust appears slightly doubled if you examine it closely under magnification. Or the rare planchet errors, where the coin's surface has unusual bumps or textures because of metal impurities during minting. Even the tiniest misalignment can skyrocket the value from a single cent to hundreds of thousands. You might be thinking, but I don't have fancy tools. Guess what? You don't need to be a scientist. A simple magnifying glass and a curious mind can change your entire life. People just like you, retirees, single parents, young dreamers, have discovered these pennies in the most unexpected places. Some found them in old piggy banks, others in pocket change after buying coffee. Their stories sound like fairy tales, but they're happening every day. So, why haven't more people cashed in? Fear. Doubt. The belief that life-changing luck only happens to someone else. But tonight, you have a choice, to be the skeptic who shrugs and walks away, or the hunter who digs deep, flips every coin, and finds the fortune waiting quietly in the shadows. You see, the value of these coins isn't just in the metal. It's in the story. Each rare penny is a hidden chapter of American history, a tiny time capsule that collectors desperately crave. And when a rare 1985 penny shows up at auction, it's like watching a shark feeding frenzy. Wealthy collectors, big dealers, even museum representatives, all bidding furiously, pushing prices beyond imagination. And you could be the one cashing that final check. Now, let me ask you something. Are you going to wait another year? Another decade? Or are you ready to turn your forgotten pennies into a golden opportunity? Remember, that single moment of curiosity, that decision to look a little closer, might transform your entire future. Imagine the moment you walk into that auction house. The hum of whispers as people realize what you're holding. The hammer drops. You walk out with a check for $956,000. You step into the sunlight, take a deep breath, and realize that from this day forward, you're free. Free from stress. Free from fear. Free to chase the life you deserve. Tonight, after this video ends, I challenge you, go find that jar, that drawer, that dusty tin can. Examine each 1985 penny like it's the key to your destiny, because it just might be. This isn't just a penny. It's a second chance, a miracle in copper and zinc, a silent promise that even the smallest things can carry the weight of your biggest dreams. You owe it to yourself to look. Because when you finally hold that rare 1985 penny in your hand, you'll feel the electricity of possibility run through your veins. And at that moment, you'll know that your life is about to change forever. The question is, will you take the chance? But what if I told you that this exact penny, a 1986 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, could secretly hold the key to a fortune worth $954,000? Would you still let it sit there, unnoticed, collecting dust while your dreams of living a wealthy, stress-free life slipped away? There's a powerful story hidden inside that tiny coin. A story of missed chances, hidden treasure, and the quiet fear that maybe, just maybe, you've already spent a life-changing fortune without ever knowing it. Think about it, how many times have you tossed a penny into a jar without even looking at the date? Could one of those be worth almost $1 million? Back in 1986, America was alive with ambition. The economy was roaring, Wall Street was booming, and the average American was chasing the dream of financial freedom. But inside that storm of optimism, the U.S. Mint released the Lincoln cent, a coin so common it felt worthless. But hidden among these everyday coins, a few rare errors slipped through. These no-mint mark pennies carried secrets that only the sharpest eyes would ever see. And those secrets? They're exactly why collectors today are paying unimaginable sums to get their hands on one. Most people don't realize how easily an error coin can escape the mint. Maybe a die was misaligned, or a planchet wasn't perfectly set. In the chaos of high-speed production, a few coins were born with unique features: doubled dies, subtle off-center strikes, or missing mint marks. It sounds small, almost laughable, right? But those tiny imperfections turned these pennies into pure gold for collectors. Imagine walking into a dusty attic, opening a box of old change, and your fingers brushing against a 1986 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, pristine, almost whispering to you. Now, here's where the story takes a heart-stopping turn. One such coin, nearly flawless and carrying the rare no mint mark error, fetched an astonishing $954,000 at a private collector's auction. That's not some myth or distant rumor, that's real money that could transform your life overnight. You might be wondering, how can something as small and unassuming as a penny hold so much power? The answer lies in scarcity. In the world of numismatics, rarity isn't just a detail, it's everything. When a coin is rare, collectors fight for it. They dream about it. They're willing to write checks so big they look like phone numbers. And the 1986 no-mint mark penny sits at the center of this silent war, where millionaires and hobbyists alike are constantly on the hunt. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what would you do if you suddenly discovered a penny worth nearly $1 million? Would you travel the world? Buy your dream house? Finally tell your boss goodbye forever? The possibilities are endless, and they all start with a single coin. Now, let's talk about how you can spot this hidden gem. First, you need to check the obverse, that's the side with Lincoln's portrait. Look carefully at the area where a mint mark would usually appear, right under the date. If there's no small letter, that's your first clue. But don't stop there. Many coins are missing a mint mark, but not all are valuable. You need to inspect for additional signs of an error, like subtle doubling on the letters or numbers, or slight misalignments that only a trained eye can catch. A magnifying glass isn't just a tool here, it's your bridge to a possible fortune. Next, consider the condition. A coin in mint state, known as MS 67 or higher, skyrockets in value. One slight scratch or discoloration can drop the price dramatically. So if you find a clean, crisp 1986 no mint mark penny, you're holding a potential life-changing miracle. There's a reason why collectors are obsessed. Every old penny is like a hidden lottery ticket. You might have hundreds of them sitting in your house, right now, forgotten and unloved. But what if one of them could buy you freedom? Freedom from debt, from stress, from that daily grind you've been stuck in for years. Imagine telling your friends that the small copper coin they ignored for decades just funded your beachside retirement. Picture the look on their faces when they realize you turned pocket change into a legacy. I know it sounds unreal, almost like a fable. But behind every legend, there's a spark of truth. The 1986 no mint mark penny stands as living proof that extraordinary wealth can hide in plain sight. You don't need to be a Wall Street genius or own a tech startup to become rich. Sometimes, all it takes is knowing where to look. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let the possibility of what if haunt you in the years to come. This penny is more than a coin, it's a symbol of second chances and secret fortunes. The only question is, will you take that chance, or will you let it slip away forever? Tonight, after this video ends, I want you to do something bold. Grab your old jars, your dusty coin albums, that forgotten change bowl in your kitchen. Start looking. Because every second you hesitate, someone else might find theirs. And when they do, they'll be the one sailing around the world, not you. So, are you ready to chase the dream? Or will you keep thinking that pennies are just worthless scraps of copper? Somewhere out there, a 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny waits to change a life forever. Will it be yours? The choice is in your hands. And remember, fortune always favors the brave. This is the story of a 1989 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a story so powerful it can transform an average American life into a dream of endless freedom and wealth. Right now, you might be thinking, how could a simple 1-cent coin possibly unlock a life of luxury? But that's exactly what makes this tale so gripping. Millions of these pennies were minted, yet a handful hold secrets that collectors are dying to uncover. One single mistake at the US Mint turned a common penny into a golden ticket. But before you start flipping over your piggy bank, let me take you deeper into a world where every small detail could be the difference between a lifetime of bills and a lifetime on the beach. Let's rewind to 1989. America was buzzing with energy, from the roaring stock market to the last echoes of the Cold War. Yet, somewhere inside the Philadelphia Mint, a small batch of pennies left the presses without the expected mint mark. You see, the mint mark, that tiny letter under the date, tells you where a coin was born. Without it, you have a ghost in your hand. A phantom coin that was never meant to exist. Collectors call these the phantom strikes. And they're so rare, they're practically whispered about at coin shows. Think about it, a coin that was overlooked, forgotten, yet now holds enough value to buy you a mansion, a luxury car, and still leave you with enough to travel first class across the world. Can you imagine that? But here's where it gets even more thrilling. Many Americans have these coins tucked away in old jars, stashed in attic boxes, or dropped in dusty coffee cans. You might have one right now, sitting inches from you. The idea that your next grocery run might be funded by a single penny in your wallet, it sends shivers down your spine, doesn't it? Now, let's talk about the true heart-pounding moment, the value. One verified 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny recently hit the private collector market for up to $947,000. That's almost $1 million for a coin most people wouldn't even glance at twice. You don't have to imagine cashing in your retirement account or mortgaging your house. You could simply walk into an auction house and walk out a millionaire, but before you rush off to rummage through your change, you need to know exactly what to look for. Because scammers and fakes lurk everywhere, waiting to prey on dreamers. You need the right knowledge to spot the true treasure. First, examine the obverse side, that's the front with Lincoln's proud profile. Look right under the year, 1989. In most cases, you'll see a small D or an S indicating Denver or San Francisco. But if yours is missing any mint mark completely, you're holding something extraordinary. It's like stumbling across a forgotten diamond in your backyard. Run your fingers over the coin's surface. Genuine error coins often have a crisp, strong strike. If it feels unusually sharp and shows no tampering or scratches around the date area, you might just be staring at your ticket to a new life. While you're examining your coins, ask yourself, what would you do with $947,000 right now? Pay off every last debt. Surprise your family with the home of their dreams. Retire early and sip margaritas on a beach in Maui. It's not just about the money, it's about the freedom to finally breathe without that weight on your shoulders. That if you're wondering whether you can trust the buyer, remember this, always consult a certified numismatist, a professional coin expert. They will verify your coin, certify its authenticity, and help you navigate the wild world of coin auctions without losing your shirt. Just imagine handing over that small copper coin and walking out with a check that could wipe out decades of worries. Can you feel that excitement building in your chest? That surge of hope pushing you forward. Many collectors today are obsessed with finding the next big treasure, but they often overlook the power of the penny. Pennies have become America's quiet giants. They slip under the radar, ignored in tip jars and under couch cushions, yet some of them could fund your dream life. So tonight, when you're lying in bed staring at the ceiling, remember this story. That 1 cent you thought was worthless could actually be your invitation to the life you've always imagined. Don't just think about it, act. Tomorrow morning, grab your old jars, empty your drawers, dig into every corner of your house. Because these chances don't come twice. There are collectors hunting as we speak, scanning every estate sale and flea market, hoping to get ahead of you. By the end of today, someone, somewhere, will discover a 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny and change their destiny forever. Why shouldn't that someone be you? Life-changing moments rarely knock twice. This is your moment to rise, to claim your unexpected fortune, and to step into a future you once thought was only a dream. The 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a key. A key to unlock the life you deserve. Are you ready to turn that key? We're diving deep into the story of the 1993 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin that might look ordinary, almost invisible among your spare change. Yet behind that simple face lies a legend of American numismatics, a story of error, mystery, and unimaginable value. And if you stick with me until the very end, you'll learn exactly how to spot this ghostly treasure before it vanishes forever. In 1993, the United States Mint was pumping out billions of pennies. Most of them carried a small D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But every so often, a coin slips through the cracks of history, born from a tiny error that transforms it into pure gold for collectors. The 1993 no-mint mark penny is one of these hidden giants. You see, these coins were minted in Philadelphia, which often leaves out a mint mark, but certain striking errors, double dies, or off-metal strikes make them ultra-rare. And those mistakes? They're like golden lottery tickets waiting to be cashed. Imagine holding something in your fingers that weighs just a few grams, yet it holds the power to buy you a new home, send your kids to college, or finally give you the life of freedom and luxury you've always imagined. Close your eyes for a second. Can you picture yourself handing this penny to an auction house and watching the bids climb higher and higher? $50,000, $150,000, $300,000, $300,000, until that final hammer drops at $944,000. Your heart pounding, your palms sweating, your life transforming right before your eyes. But what makes this particular penny so breathtakingly rare? It's not just the missing mint mark. Some of these 1993 pennies also show doubling on the date or on Lincoln's bust, an effect called a double die. Others have been struck on the wrong planchet, using metal intended for foreign coins or dimes. These small accidents become million-dollar miracles. And here's the chilling part: most people spend them without a second thought, tossing them into soda machines or losing them under car seats. Have you ever wondered how many treasures you've accidentally let slip through your fingers? How many times you've unknowingly handed away your shot at financial freedom for a candy bar or a cup of gas station coffee? Let that sink in. Now you might ask, how can I possibly tell if my 1993 penny is worth a fortune? The answer hides in tiny details that only the most watchful eyes can catch. Take out a magnifying glass. Look closely at the date. Do you see any doubling or strange shadows on the numbers? Next, check Lincoln's profile, especially around the eye and jawline. Are there ghost-like lines or repeated images? Finally, weigh the coin carefully. A wrong planchet error might have a different weight than a standard 2.5-gram penny. These small signs are your golden breadcrumbs to a treasure chest, but don't stop there. Even a minor strike error or a smooth surface where a mint mark should be can drastically increase your coin's value. You must examine every angle, every curve. Because when you find the right one, you'll realize you're not just holding a piece of copper. You're holding the key to rewriting your destiny. Can you imagine the look on your neighbor's face when you tell them your pocket change just bought you a beachfront condo? Or when you pull up in a brand new luxury car, all paid for by something you found in a dusty old drawer? The kind of freedom this coin offers is beyond dreams. It's the kind of story that makes you believe anything is possible, but time is not your friend here. Every day that passes, more and more of these rare pennies are being lost forever, destroyed, worn down, or thrown away. The window is closing, and with each passing moment, your chance to uncover this tiny miracle shrinks. Will you act today, or will you let another opportunity slip away like so many others before? I know what you're thinking, this all sounds too good to be true. But believe me, the world of rare coins has already created millionaires out of ordinary people. Retirees, factory workers, single parents, people who stumbled upon a single penny and turned it into a fortune. Why shouldn't the next story be yours? So tonight, after this video ends, I want you to go through every jar, every pocket, every drawer in your house. Grab those pennies and hold them up to the light. Take your time, feel the weight of each one, and listen to that small voice whispering, "This could be the one." Because somewhere out there, someone will find this legendary 1993 no-mint mark penny. Someone will walk away with $944,000 or more. And that someone could be you. This isn't just about a coin. It's about hope. It's about second chances and hidden potential. It's about finally saying goodbye to financial struggles and stepping into the life you deserve, a life of abundance, adventure, and endless possibilities. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start tonight. Your future could be just one penny away.